me here. I don't know if you guys have ever done any type of speaking, but you feel absolutely ridiculous sitting there while someone's saying nice stuff about you, and you have to come up here and somewhat have to live up to that expectation. So, at any rate, my goal for us today, first and foremost, always is just to have fun. I've been where you guys are sitting and hours and hours and hours. It would be a huge failure today if at any point you're sitting there looking at your watch being like, dear Lord, when is this going to be over? So, my number one goal is to have fun. We're not going to go for a real long time here. I will tell you I hardly slept last night because I'm so excited about talking specifically with you guys today. There's a great energy about your group. I've been to some of your meetings. I absolutely love the direction that Mike's taking the company, and I know that he may be taking it there, but it's all you guys that's making that happen. So today we're going to show some very short videos. We're going to do some exercises together. I promise you, this is the one thing I feel 100% passionate about. You will never have seen anything like what we're going to do today. That's a pretty tall order to live up to, but if you have, then I want to hear about it. A couple of things with public speaking is they say that the bigger the group, the easier it is. And while this is a big group, I still have to make eye contact with almost every single one of you. And there's a good chance that I know some of you guys. Actually, I know that I do. I've worked out with a few of you. That actually makes it more difficult. They also say that you should be a subject matter expert, which I know literally nothing about real estate. So we're moving in the right direction there. And then they also say that it makes it increasingly harder if there's anyone in the audience that is also a phenomenal speaker, which I believe Miss Williams is. So I'm batting 1,000. So, but we're gonna have fun. So I want you to take out your pens. We're gonna show this short little video. If you remember nothing else today, I'm telling you, if you just get this short little thing, this will change your entire life. I mean, it's only like 15 seconds. I pray to God it works.
What's the most inspiring thing I ever said to you? Something you did changed my life. When I thought about doing something, I think, would it be to do that? And if they would, not do that.
So there you go. You get nothing else out of today. That's all you need. So, all right, we're gonna get rolling here. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up here in Rockwall. I worked at a ranch growing up. Got a job when I was 15. Pretty much worked 50 hours a week from the time I was 15 on. Work's always just been something I like doing. It's never been something I have to do. And so even now, I think the guy I used to work for used to always tell me, if you have a job you like, you'll never work a day in your life. So I'm passionate about helping people enjoy what they do in life. So if you don't enjoy what you do, I hope that we can spend a little time maybe changing your perspective on that. I went to college. I dropped out of college because I always wanted my own business, and an opportunity came up. It wasn't Milestone. It was actually another job. But it seems like how that works, I think, in all of our lives is you just walk through doors as they open, and sometimes those doors actually end up being hallways onto something else. So when I was 21, I met a guy who had a construction business and asked me, we went to church together and said, I just feel like I should ask you to come work with me, and he did. And so we started Milestone with $10,000 that was actually a loan, and bought our first truck for $4,800 from a place right here in Garland, a Tow the Note place, and they charged 12 payments, $800 each, which is $9,600, which is exactly 100% APR. So any of you guys think that it's hard to sell houses at 5 or if the interest rates went up to 6 or 7, that guy got it done selling 100% APR. So it can be done. So we started that in 2004, and for us, we've always just done the same thing over and over and over, which is trying to make our customers happy and make our team members happy. And we've never really set these big lofty goals. Mark and I have always said we're going to continue to do those things as long as we can continue to do them with our values, which is faith, family, and excellence. And so we just continued to do that little track over and over and over. Last year we did almost a little over $40 million in sales. This year we're targeting close to 50, and we've also started some restaurants, or I have, downtown. I've been involved in a couple of different things. Everything's gone pretty well. So today what I want to share with you guys is some of the things I've noticed about myself. A lot of it has to do with failures, but I also feel like that as I've noticed those about myself and made little changes here and there that have also become successful things. So, you guys ready? Good? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to have Ashley stand up. We're going to do a little participation game today. And who in here has just a little bit of cash that can help us play this little game? Just a little bit, not a lot. Probably get it back. Mike, do you have some?
I don't think I do, I'm sorry.
Somebody has to have $1 or $5 something. I should have brought some. I didn't. I'm sorry. And make sure you remember. And we'll make sure Ashley's going to write down so I don't try to run off with it here. That's right. I'll happily take credit cards. Yeah. Okay, so while Ashley's doing that, I know there's probably a lot of success stories in here. Mike has actually shared some of y'all's stories with me, and I'd love to hear it from you guys sometime. So, interesting fact, in the Fortune 500 companies, there's only one company that the CEO is the highest paid person. Do you know what the other, and almost every single one of them, the highest paid person is? What'd you say? The salespeople. That's right. I know not everyone in here specifically in sales, but we are all in sales in some form or fashion. So sales is where everything happens. We're going to focus on a little bit of that today because sales is where you have to eat what you kill. Sales is where the rubber meets the road in our organization. Our highest paid people are salespeople. Not even our general manager, not even our CFO, not those. The salespeople is where the rubber meets the road. It's the hardest job there is, but it's also the most rewarding, I believe. There's nothing else like you're sitting in this room today and you can walk out of here right now, you can get a phone call for a $5 million piece of property that somebody wants you to list, and then you can also go find a buyer and you get paid double commission. That's good, right? Every $5 million sales, you get paid double commission. That's good? Okay, we all think alike, so that's good. There's very other few things in life that in sales that is that rewarding. And everyone agrees that could happen. Am I right about that? One of the little tidbits here is most of you don't, I shouldn't say, what I find is most people actually don't believe that can happen. And it usually doesn't because you don't believe it. That's just a little, doesn't even cost you anything extra. That's just what I notice in life. Whatever you're believing for typically happens, and if you believe that can happen, it will happen at some point. So that's one of the amazing things about sales. You can go from zero to hero overnight, and sales is one of those things. The more you invest in yourself, I promise you, over time, you will see the reward. Mike obviously believes that. There's not very many companies, I'm not sure how many of you have worked at other realty companies, but is there that many other realty companies that do things like this on a monthly basis? I don't think there is, and I don't think that you think that there is, or else you probably wouldn't be in this room. Time is something that God has given each of us, and given each of us certain amounts of it, but the one thing about it is we can all choose to use that however we want. So you have to be a wise steward over that. I do believe the time that you're spending at Mazyck Realty is probably some of the best invested time as far as professionally that you could ever do. So, now, this is where we're going to make sure that we're all on the same page. We talked about the sales things, we talked about money. Who in here, hear me when I say this, I do not think money is the most important thing in life. But who in here likes having more money? Does anybody not like having more money? I'm sure Mike would be interested to find out who that is. So I'm sure he can rectify that problem for you very easily. And if we talked about something here today that guaranteed, that we all agree that if you do this, you will make more money, and you could do it without sacrificing time with your family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you would do it? Most of us are on the same page? Yes? So we all agree. And does anyone in here have just too much money? Okay. So I can work with you guys because I'm all in the same page. I like making money. I don't feel like I have too much of it. If somebody tells me something to do, as simple as, hey, if Mike told me, hey Gus, if you go across the street, there's going to be somebody over there that's going to hand you a little gold bar. Go over there and get it. I would say, I will go get it, absolutely. Everybody would do that the same, right? Okay, so we're all working in the same direction. You have a little notepad in front of you. What I want you to do is I want you to, and we're gonna keep this professionally right now, but this works for your personal life and any area of life. But since this is a company meeting, we'll just do professionally. What I want you to do is I want you to write down, it's the beginning of the year kind of still, goals that you have professionally for yourself within the next 12 to 24 months. I'm assuming if you're, is it called producer, agent, whatever, maybe that's a target amount of gross sales volume, or what do you call that, gross commission? GCI?
Gross commission.
Yeah, GCI, maybe something like that. Maybe that's, hey, I did this last year, I want to do this year. Maybe it's, I want to take Mike's job. Maybe you want to start your own company. Maybe you want to do all types of different things. Doesn't matter what they are. I just want you to write down 2 or 3 of them. No, that's good. While you guys are finishing that, when I first met Mike, I was actually skinnier than he was and more fit. And then I introduced him to CrossFit, and clearly things have gone in the wrong direction for me. Everyone there? Now what I want you to do, on the top of that little part, I want you to write the word desire, D-E-S-I-R-E. And then underneath those, I want you to write a line with, not a long line, just like a line, and then put the number 1 and the number 10, like a sliding scale. And after you've done that, I want you to be honest with yourself. And when you look at that goal on that paper, I want you to mark somewhere on that line on how aggressive your goals are in life. And before you do that, I'm talking like a 0 is you're moving backwards in life. Last year, let's just say your sales were 5 million, is that a number? 5 million, and you put down, I want my goal to be 1 million this year. You're just completely moving backwards in life. That's a 0, okay? 10 is, you're looking at that, and you're like, I want to do this, I believe it's possible, I just have no idea how I could even get there. So somewhere between those, I want you to be honest with yourself. Now, when you write that down, where are you in that 1 to 10 with your goals? Got it? Anybody have any questions? This is really important that we get this part right. If you just think, I can pretty much hit these goals with my eyes closed, just doing what I do, I would put that at like a 5. Mike and I actually had breakfast yesterday, and he was sharing with me some of the things that he thinks is possible for y'all's organization. And I'll let him share those with you guys, but they would be 10s. And I actually completely believe that they're all possible. If he wasn't talking to someone like me that's like, if you can dream it, then you can do it, other people would say that's absolutely craziness. But his goals are 10s. I can readily assure you of that. Okay, so everybody there? Would you tell me if you're not? Okay, so now I need a volunteer that has somewhat good handwriting. Everyone's like, oh God.
Wait a minute, question.
Yes?
What does 10 exactly mean? Because 5 means you can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah, 10 is, that's really out there. So last year, yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
Last year, you said, let's just use the 5 million. Now you put like 30, and it's a big goal, but that's what you want. Be honest with yourself. You're gonna do that wrong here?
Somebody's gonna do it.
All right, here we go. So draw us a little T. This is some group participation. I have to like call on people if you don't volunteer. So what sorry guys, it's just not very good.
Oh, it's a capital T?
Yeah, it's capital.
Okay, I was drawing one.
Okay, so what I want us to do over here, and I don't want Mike to answer any of these. Tell me 5 things for your industry, and we're focusing on the agents in here right now, but I believe this is true for all areas of life. Give me one thing that, if you do this, it usually leads to good results as far as producing income.
Follow up.
Follow up. Seems like we've talked about that before. Next.
Consistent.
What's another thing that if you do,
Wake up.
prospecting, wake up's good too.
Open your mouth, make sure everybody knows what you do for communication.
Communicate. Or what would you call that more specifically? Networking? Networking.
Yeah, networking.
Think of maybe the best agents that you guys have ever run across. Is there certain attributes that they have that you're like, God, they just do that really well? What is it? Marketing? Let's put that down. Marketing, what was another one? Ambition?
What about education?
I love that one. Let's use the word education / investing. Kind of educating, investing in yourself.
Time management.
Oh, that's a good one too. Got it. And then time management. Is there anything else on here that you're like, that should definitely be up there, but you're just too shy to say it? You can whisper it. I'll run out there. You can whisper it. And I'll say it. Anything?
Don't be shy.
What?
Don't be shy.
Okay. Then, and I usually know how this goes, but does everybody agree with these things?
Yes.
Everyone agrees that if you do these things, good things will typically happen for you? No one disagrees? It's good. Right over here, Mike, somebody volunteer. What are some like deal killers? Like maybe an agent starts with Mazyck Realty and then they start doing these things and it is just not good and they eventually just get out of the organization because
Poor time management.
poor time management. They're usually the opposite of these things, just put wasting time.
Procrastinate.
Negative attitude, love that one. Overpromising.
Things of themselves first.
Seems like they know all the things not to do.
Yeah. Good place category.
Overpromising. What about, I don't know a better word for it, but just kind of laziness? Is that it? What is it called? Complacency, laziness?
Greed.
What is it?
Greed.
Greed, that's a good one.
Which side did they go on?
We're looking for specific actions. So, or lack of these actions, which are usually the opposite of these things. But I think we got a good board here. Okay. So, does everybody agree? This is really important that we can all agree on this. That if you do these things, good things will happen for you in the realty world, and if you do these things, bad things will typically happen. Are we all on the same page with that?
Yes.
We're good with that. Okay. So, yeah, you're done. Thank you. Give Mike a round of applause. Oddly enough, he still never beat me in a workout at CrossFit. That's a true statement.
Challenge.
Even with this. Okay. Can't replace Mark. I mean, that's what I always tell you. Okay, so, are any of these things on here new ideas? Is there anything up here like, oh my God, I'm so glad Gus came because we have never thought about not wasting time. Everyone's good? I'm so glad Gus is here. Oh, Mike, you never told us that we should be out there networking, letting people know what we do. We all agree that these are no new ideas, right? Okay. My next question, this is where it gets a little personal. You don't have to say yes or no, but I want you to think about it. Do you do, to the best of your ability, those things every single day?
No.
Okay. No, the answer would be for me is also no. I know clearly what to do in life. I'll use working out, something very simple. I hate when my pants are tight, and that's a very personal, probably TMI for you guys, but it drives me absolutely nuts. And I don't like being overweight. I just don't like it at all. I know exactly what to do to fix it, and I just do not do it. Right? So, anyways, having said that, be very honest with yourself when you look at these and say, do I do these things every single day? And the answer for most people, including myself, is usually no. And do I find myself doing some of these things that I shouldn't do? And the answer is probably yes. And just that right there, just ponder on that for 2 seconds. We all said we knew exactly what to do to be successful, but we said we don't always do it. And we said we know the things not to be successful, but we end up doing some of those things. Everybody in agreement there? Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you another question. Answer this honestly. This is a pretty bow. If you did these things, you really committed to it. Let's just say I'll use the working out example. If you really committed to it, Would you sell probably one more house this year? If you did it every single day the way you're supposed to, didn't do these things over here? Yes. How much is that average gross commission, GCI, is that the right? How much is that? $6,000. So when you guys sell, how much do you guys get of that? It's not a bad question to ask. What is that? That doesn't seem like very much. Why don't they get more? I'm just asking what all my people ask. So $3,000. $3,000 is a lot of money, right? Everybody wants $3,000. Now I want you to write something on your, and you can just kind of butcher it. You can take it off, whatever. And I believe in self-fulfilling prophecies, but we're going to do this just to have fun. I want you to write in there, sometimes I lie. Yeah, sometimes I lie. That needs to go by your name.
On your name? For real?
Now this is the part of the little talk that we're having. I don't really picture myself as a presenter. Oh, Tanya's coming up. Okay. She's like, okay, Gus, meeting's over. I don't really picture myself as a presenter. We're just having fun here together. This is where the presentation, kind of our talk, kind of come off the rails, and I just need you to stay with me. You guys all right? Okay. So, I need who's just some of this money?
Some of it's mine.
Okay, come on up. You get some, come on up. Who else gave? They're like, oh, good Lord. All right, come on up here, guys. Give these people a round of applause.
I know it's a miracle.
Okay, so now I just want to recap everything that we've talked about. Who's one of dollars? Dollar.
Six.
Well, let's start with one. Eats. She was one of the people that was like, no, half is not enough. Okay, who's is the 5? That's yours. Let's give you the 5. Take that back. I know. That's yours?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to start off with is, we're going to give these, a lot of bravery being up here. So, now you guys said that if you knew specifically some things to do in life to make more money, because they like money and they like earning it and they don't have too much of it, and if I told you specifically what to do, then you would do it because you like money. Is that right?
Yeah.
You guys all said it. So they said yes. Yes, they said that. Then we talked about. We all said these things, that if you do these, you may sell one more house a year, which is $3,000, which is a lot of these little $1 bills, that you would probably sell one more house a year. We all said that, right?
Yes.
Yep. And we said if we don't do these things, that's good. This is where it kind of comes off the rails for me. And everybody said in here that they already, that they agree with that. This is where the disconnect happens. You guys, and I'm just picking on them because they're up here, but this is for myself too, sometimes you lie. Because you say that if you knew what to do, and it was surefire that it works every time, you would do it because you want to earn more money. But then you turn around and say, yeah, I don't do that. Right? So what I want you to do, Deborah the Tiger Bird, I just want you to rip that dollar in half.
No.
Yeah. She wants to know, how does she know it's not one of hers? I'm pretty sure it's one of yours. I really do. Oh my God. I didn't think that's going to do it. Okay, so give her a round of applause. Now, I've actually looked into this. You can actually take this back together and take it to the bank and they'll replace it. Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
And actually, defacing money is actually a criminal thing. Destroying it's not. Defacing it for the purpose of counterfeiting it is what's actually legal. So if you've ever heard anyone say you can't destroy money, that's not actually true. They don't even have a law for that because they figure a real no idiot would actually do that. But that was really good. So, now what I want you guys to do is, I feel like it'd be a good time for Mike, because you're gonna be able to get that money back. Possibly. Mike, come on down over here to our exhibit A. So exhibit A. So what I want you to do is to jam it right down in there to really.
Yeah, this is the 20.
Yeah. Go ahead. I told you, we're gonna do something that you haven't ever done before. Have you guys ever done this before? No. Okay, good, because you beat me. That's good. Just really jam it down in there. Sure. Yeah, it's on. Sometimes you just have to, I've done this. Oh, God. Now, you guys may have more time than me, but I don't think you're going to put that together to go back to the bank and then put that together. Everyone agree? I see a lot of just, and these people are about to run off the stage. So, now I want to just take a time out here. We're not done. We're not done. But what I want to point out, if it was that real every single day, that you guys already admitted, and this is something I've learned in my own life, that you already said if you did these things, you would have more money. If the money was in your bank account, but when you didn't do these, it just got taken out and shredded, I bet it would be a lot more real if we would all do the things we're supposed to each and every single day, wouldn't we? And I also tell you right now that this short little example, because we're never getting that $20 back, I can readily assure you of that. This short little example right here, if that's what it takes for each and every single one of us to make it real to us, and if that motivates you to go do these things, and you can sell a $3,000, you can sell one more house this year because of doing these things, I would say that's the best $20 you've ever spent, right? Sometimes, you know, people go out and buy books, they pay for speakers, they invest in themselves in all different kinds of ways. I've actually found, when I got my mind around this, and it happened for me in the sense that I have these lofty goals and ambitions and what I want to do in life, but I have certain habits that prevent me from doing those. And I said, you know what, Gus, if you got punished financially every time you did one of those things or didn't do one of those things, I bet you would stop doing them. The problem is it's not tangible. This little example right here makes it kind of tangible. So, I hate to ask you this. Blue Gina, which is a gazelle cheetah, you're fast. So, come down here and just feel the power. Since you already said that you sometimes do this, here's only $1. Every dollar counts. That's exactly right. Sometimes you have to get it right there in that middle. Sometimes you have to fold it. It's going to shred for you. We will stay here all day for a show. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so give her a round of applause. Now, I know what you're thinking, or some people think, Gus has so much money that he can just do stuff like this. Well, this isn't my money, first of all. But second of all, I actually care about money a lot, and believe me, I know that there's some child in Africa, I do a ton of missions work and everything else that could use this money. I believe that with all my heart. I also know that if you can just understand and get what we're talking about today, that will be the best thing that ever happens, because a year from now, you're going to look back and go, I realized where I was, and I realized that if I do those things, you're going to have so many more $1 or $20 or $5 bills that it won't even matter. This is the best thing that you could ever do. I know you guys are like, oh my God. This is the kind of people that Mike hangs out with. Anyways, so should we make Shirley do hers?
Yes.
Oh, they're passionate. Come on down. I thought you were going to get something free. And now fold it in half. And then it's right there. Yep. See? Oh, give her a round of applause. So thank you for our volunteers. You can go take a seat, and we may call you back up later. So, thank you guys. I told you we were going to do something that you never probably have done before. So, now what I want you to do, let's go back to that piece of paper in front of you. And what I want you to do now is, I want you to, on that same little line there, I want you to rate yourself on how you feel like you do these things. A 0 being you never do them. A 10's like, I wake up every day, I eat the competition for lunch, I am efficient, I follow up, I prospect, I never miss it. 10 is absolutely perfect. 0 is you never do it, you don't even want to do it. On purpose, you do these other things. So I want you to write a mark on that line of where you fall. Be honest with yourself. You're not going to turn these in. I'm not going to make you come up here and share them with everybody or anything like that. Everybody good? One thing, and I want you to write under that line now, I want you to write the word will. W-I-L-L. One thing, I think we need to get that. It's not video. This sound going to be so bad that we shouldn't try it. We'll try it. We'll try it. One thing, this is what I've noticed in life, and this is about myself. When your desire and your will, those two things aren't about exactly the same, that's where frustration sets in. That's where depression sets in. That's where blaming other people come in. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. My goal is I want to sell $10 million worth of properties next year, and let's just say that's a pretty lofty goal. Is that right? Let's just say that's an 8 on our original thing called desire. Then, as we've talked about this, and you're being honest with yourself, you say, you know what? I could probably do a lot better in some of these, and you rated yourself at a 6. When your will and your desire don't meet in life, that's where you become frustrated because you want something that you're not achieving, but you have the ability to achieve it. And that's what I found in my organization, even for myself. I start blaming other people. I start saying, if other people would give me more opportunities, if I had a better education, if I had a better car, if I was in that territory, if I had this, if I had that, then I would be doing those things. But what I rarely find is that because people come, to me all the time at our organization, hey Gus, we need to borrow some money, we need to do this, we need to do that. What I find is that I very rarely find somebody who has goals that their will or discipline is actually right there next to those things that are in that position. Because the people that have that are usually going where they're going in life and they're getting there at the pace that they want to be there. So, does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want you to do very quickly, I'm going to talk while you do this, I want you to write down 2 to 3 things in the next 6 to 12 months that you could change, that you could do better based upon what we're talking about. Like I said, this is all for you. You're going to keep it, you're going to put it in your pocket. Maybe it's you can do a better job following up, maybe it's a better job networking, maybe you need to be more time efficient. I know Mike and I were talking about that yesterday. He was telling me if he just wakes up when he's supposed to, which starts with going to bed when he's supposed to, he wakes up, and he's like a machine, he's ready to do it. It's something that simple that he said for him that causes him to be successful. So write down 2 to 3 things that you feel like will make you more successful, that will raise this will thing to match our desire. You guys got it? Close? Okay, how do you feel about this video? You think it's going to work?
Yes.
Okay. So bear with me. I think this is sometimes we kind of all talk about, we do things that we shouldn't do, but we just don't stop doing them. I think this is the remedy for you for them, if this will play with us.
Dr. Switzer? Yes, just washing my hands.
I'm Catherine Bigman. Jenna Carlisle referred me.
Very well.
Yes, that's me. Should I lay down?
Oh, no, keep going there. Just have to,
That's so bad, it's not worth it.
let me tell you a bit about our billing. I charge $5 for the first 5 minutes. And then absolutely nothing after that nonsense.
That sounds great.
So
too good to be true, as a matter of fact.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that our session won't last for 4 or 5 minutes. Now, we don't do any insurance bills, so you would either have to pay in cash or by check.
Wow, okay,
And I don't make change.
all right.
Go.
So,
Oh, tell me about the problem that you wish to address.
oh, okay, well, I have this fear of being buried alive in a box. I start thinking about being buried alive and I begin to panic.
Has anyone ever tried to bury you alive in a box?
No, but truly thinking about it does make my life horrible. I mean, I can't go through tunnels or be in an elevator or in a house, anything boxy.
So what you're saying is you're claustrophobic.
Yes, that's it.
All right, well, let's go, Catherine. I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
So, write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, you're there.
Stop it! Stop it?
Yes. C-O-P, no word, I-T.
So, what are you saying?
You know, it's funny. I say 2 simple words, and I cannot tell you the amount of people who say exactly the same thing you're saying. I mean, this is not Yiddish, Catherine. This is it. Stop it.
So, I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box. You know, that sounds straight. Then stop it.
You've been with me
No,
since last
no, we don't go there. Just stop.
So, I should just stop being afraid of being buried alive in a box.
You got it. Good. Well, it's only been 3 minutes, so that will be $3.
But I only have a 5, so.
No, I don't change.
I guess I'll take the full 5 minutes.
Fine. All right. Well, what other problems would you like to address?
I'm bulimic. I stick my fingers down my throat.
Stop it.
Yes, I'm compelled to. My mom used to call me fat.
No, we don't go there. No, we don't go there either.
But my horoscope did say.
We definitely don't go there.
Okay, you can stop there. You guys like that? Short little video, and I'll see these links to you in case you want them, and you can watch them with some better.
Sex with men.
All right. Stop it. Okay. I love that little video, but it is that simple. I think for most of us, I know the problems in my own life, and I just need to stop it. I can stop it. I just need to be more disciplined and stop doing it. Right? I feel like we can all do it. So I'm going to wind this thing down. We talked a lot about money today. I've actually never focused on making money a day in my life. In my prayer life, I've never prayed for money. For me, I always pray for wisdom and direction. And it just so happens that what I like doing in life earns more money. For you guys, just enjoy going out and talking to people and serving them so well and taking care of them. It just so happens as you do that, you're going to end up making money. The money is a way of measuring sometimes how well we've done in certain areas of our life, but it's certainly not what it's all about. My favorite thing, our company mission is win, win, win. Our team members win, our customers win, our company wins. I like winning. It just so happens when you win in business, most of the time, not always, you make more money. If you were a teacher and you loved winning, you wouldn't measure it probably monetarily, you'd measure it by the amount of students that come through and grow up and have very fruitful lives. And in your organization, I have a feeling that monetarily you will notice that the more homes that you sell, because that's kind of y'all's metric, that will produce more money. But that's certainly not what it's all about. And I use that little example today, but please don't get hung up on that. I believe that this year can be different for you guys. I believe it can be different for myself. I believe if you look at what you did here, whether it's in your personal life, you want your relationships to be better, if you want your job to be better, if you want your physical outlook to be better, if you just write down the things that you know to do, and you write down the things that you know to stop doing, and you really make a concerted effort, this year will be an amazing year. You will look back. This will be, I offered to pay me to do this. I would do it for free. Because I'm that passionate about people being, I hate the word all they can be in life, but living an inspired life to the fullest in every single area. So if you got one thing out of today and that happened, that would be a huge win for me. I'm going to do something very quick as we close here. And I have three little things that I noticed that I can feel like if I share with people, they usually get it. And I'm horrible at writing. I think I just got marker all over myself. But step number one as you do this, don't wish it was easier. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Okay? Because circumstances rarely get easier. You know what? The economy has been absolutely great. I know for y'all's industry for a while, so that you can know how to help them. That's for all of us. The second thing, so don't wish it was easier, wish it was better. The second thing, this is where it's going to get really good. Who knows what that is?
A golf tee.
It does look like a golf tee, but it's not. It's a sailboat. Sailboat. Kind of see it? Like a frisbee with a El Phoenix flag on it? Okay. It's sailboat. I love this example. You guys have heard it before, but I feel like it's so true in life. There's two boats that both start off in the harbor. And one of them has their goal set on getting across the way to the shore where there's something that they want. They both set off that way. They're the exact same sailboat and they have the exact same circumstances. They're both, the wind's coming, in this scenario, the wind's coming right at them, the waves are coming right at them. You have two captains, two sailboats, they're both trying to get the same place. The reality is in life, one of them is going to end up shipwrecked and the other one's going to get where they're going. And you guys already said why, I'm going to tell you why. It's this one word called attitude. I call the wind and the waves, those are all circumstances, and they come against every single one of us, and they come against us equally. I guarantee if I sat down with Mike and asked him, have you ever had two agents start at the same time, and one of them succeeded and one of them didn't, he would say, absolutely. I guarantee the one that didn't, they had the ability to do it, but they just ended up quitting. What you find with people that end up shipwrecked is this. If you know anything about sailing, if you know anything about motor boats or anything, a ship is in the most dangerous position whenever the captain is away from the wheel. And it's just getting tossed to and fro in the sea. The guy that stays at the helm, you can actually sail a sailboat straight into the wind. It's called tacking. Going back and forth, zigzagging. You can actually get to where you're going, even if adversity is right in your face, by just staying in it and not quitting and keeping going. The guy that gets frustrated and says, I can't do this, the wind and the waves and everything are going to take that little sailboat and they're going to throw it up against the rocks and it's going to bust into a million pieces. Don't be that. Don't quit. You just keep going. You stay at the helm. You keep steering your ship. You're going to get where you're going. The last and final thing, I guess, I'm sure you guys cannot wait to see what this looks like. There's this one word, and my favorite word, and it's called peace. I encourage you guys to live in peace. And what that means is that I found that peace usually is in three directions. I actually got some news yesterday about one of our organizations. Not good news. And I was so happy with myself last night. I barely slept. Because used to, I would have went home. I would have been upset. I would have acted like a jerk to my kids and my wife. I would have stayed up on my laptop and done all this other stuff. And I just said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about that. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to worry about it. There's three things. First of all, you have to trust in yourself. Trust in the discipline, trust in the investment that you put in yourself, trust in your God-given abilities, and I mean that. God designed each and every single one of us to live with a purpose and a plan, and he didn't just do it because he was bored. He did it because each one of us had that side. Trust in yourself. Somewhere on the inside of there, you have the wisdom, you put yourself in a good position. It's a great feeling knowing when you've done everything that you can do, just relax and live in peace in that. The second thing is trust in the people that are around you. You guys are in an organization here. Trust that so-and-so is going to do their job. Trust that somebody has your best intentions. I've found that, I get the question all the time, Gus, how do you stay so peaceful with a lot of different companies, a lot of different stuff? I just trust people. You know what? And if they burn me, that's on them. That's not on me. And my daddy in heaven, he'll worry about that. He says the vengeance is the Lord's. That doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And what I found is when you just always assume that people have your best interests, it makes for a really great life. It's really hard to get upset. If somebody texts me and says, why did you do that? I don't read it as, why did you do that? I read it as, someone just said, hey, why'd you do that? I just assume that they probably had a good intention of sending that. I just don't read into anything. I just assume that the people that are around me are all doing their best. If someone in the office, you guys went out and you got a deal and you sent them the paperwork and they didn't do something they were supposed to do, I don't sit back and go, I knew they'd been plotting against me. I knew this entire time they didn't want me to sell anything. They wanted me out of here. I bet Mike went in there and said, the next time they send that in, you do this and that'll get them out of here. Like the guy said, no, we don't go there. We don't go there. What you do is you just say, you know what? I bet so-and-so maybe having a tough day, maybe a tough week, maybe there's some stuff going on in their personal life, they dropped the ball. It's probably not going to help if I call them and just, what them out. Let me give them a break and just go up there and see if I can help them. It makes for an extremely happy life, I can assure you. And then you know what? Sometimes you find out, yeah, they did it on purpose. But you know what? Well, that's a shame that they even feel like that. So, last thing. So first of all, you're trusting in yourself. Second of all, you're trusting in the people around you. And third of all, you trust in God. I believe in all of my heart, and I said trust in yourself, but I only trust in myself because I feel like God's on the inside of me. And if you don't have that faith component, I encourage you to find that in some capacity. This isn't me standing up here trying to cram that down your throat. I'm telling you what works for me. The trust in God thing is so important that it's so hard if you feel like you're the person that carries all the weight of everything that you do in life. That seems overwhelming to me. We talked about being overwhelmed. I would be completely overwhelmed in every single area of my life if I felt like it was up to me or up to any of us to live under that pressure. So I encourage you, trust in yourself, trust in the others around you, and trust in God. There's somebody asked me one time, they said, well, where's the balance of what you do and what God does? And I heard it put like this, and I don't think I've ever heard it put better, and it's just stuck with me. Pray as if everything depends on God, and work as if everything depends on you. And somewhere in the middle of those two things, it all comes together. So pray as if everything depends on God, and work as if everything depends on you. I'm going to close with this little, very short thing here, and we can do some Q&A. And I have another video, but I'm not going to do the brain damage of trying to show that to you guys. So there's one little thing in life, is this. It's called the treasure and the tragedy. The treasure is, we didn't talk about anything today that I think that is a new idea. I certainly didn't come up with any of this. It's probably stuff I pieced together over life. The treasure is that each and every single one of us know exactly what to do. Do you guys agree with that? Mm-hmm. There's nothing that you're like, I've never just thought. Someone said waking up, right?
Correct.
I don't think that, as you said that, even though it was very profound, anyone was like, oh my God, you have to wake up to sell a house, right? I don't think that we said anything today, I certainly didn't, that you guys haven't thought of before. What you find in life, and the treasure is that we all know what to do, and for the most part, we can all do it. We all have obstacles, we all have circumstances, we all have stories, but we can all do it. That's the treasure. There's not one of us in this room that I believe that can't walk out of this room, put into action what we talked about today, and a year from now, come back in here and might say, you know what, last year you were here, and now you're here. There's every single one of us in this room have the opportunity to do that, whether you believe it or not, and that's where my stuff This year's gonna be a big year for me. I believe that with all my heart. I have some very lofty goals and ambitions, but I know it's gonna take me doing my part to get those things done. That's the treasure, is that we can all do it. The tragedy is this. They say that if there was 100 people in here, 1 out of 100 of us in this room would actually go do it. That's the tragedy. The treasure is we all can, we know what to do, we can do it. The tragedy is that they say statistically that 1 out of 100 of us will actually go do it. I'm not believing that's for this group. I'm believing that every single person is going to go out of this room, that Mazyck Realty, someday you guys, you'll be on vacation in Florida. You'll see a sign there and say, I was part of that when it started. I'm still a part of it. I've grown personally. I've grown spiritually. I've grown professionally. And you guys are building something here. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And people are going to look back and say, how did they ever do that? And I'm believing that. But don't be part of the tragedy. Because it's such a tragedy in life that we all know what to do. We have the ability to do it. We live in the greatest country I believe it's ever been going on. If you haven't traveled the world, I don't care what problems you think we have here, I'm telling you, they're not that bad. We have every single opportunity to do it. So be part of the treasure, don't be part of the tragedy. I love you guys. I've been with a lot of different groups and been fortunate. You guys have certainly been one of the most fun, most accommodating. I do have good news for you, that except for Mike. The ones of you that came up and volunteered your money, I'm going to give you your money back. And I actually brought this with me because that short little amount of money is completely worth me investing in you guys. And so I can't wait to hear about y'all's success stories. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Mike, thank you for that.